I'm Ron West with Clemson football. I've had the opportunity to coach college football in Division 1A for now 25 years, and this is a unique offense that we're fixing to share with you. It's the shotgun offense that we've had an opportunity to run with Tommy Bowden at Tulane and at Clemson. The interesting things about this offense is the power running game that we've been able to create out of the shotgun offense. So we're going to start off with the dart scheme, and we'll go from there. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, the shotgun dart scheme, the philosophy of this scheme, of the dart scheme, the scheme is used to attack the bubble of a defense, and we're going to go over that in a minute. We want to attack a bubble of a defense using a misdirection style of offense and a running downhill ISO scheme on a B-gap linebacker. So basically, we're going to attack a B-gap bubble. And I'll go in more depth of it in a minute, but that is the philosophy of this offense, is trying to use a scheme that will attack an offensive football team in an ISO type scheme on a B-gap backer. We'll review the rules of the scheme now. All right, the shotgun dart scheme versus an even defensive scheme. All right, before we get there, let me just show you what a defensive even scheme is for us. Basically, an even scheme for us is one of our guards have to be covered by a down lineman, and we'll make an even call, and this will give everybody up front their blocking assignment. By making the call even by our center, this will give everybody their assignment. And basically, we'll deal with the guys as one LOS on the line of scrimmage, two LOS, one LOS, two LOS, everything on either side of the center. So if we're going to the left, that'll be considered play side. So that'd be one LOS, two LOS. That would be play side backer, backside backer. This would be one LOS week, two LOS week. All right, so here's our blocking rules for the dart scheme. Play side tackle blocks number 2 LOS. Use game plan, and what I mean by that is base reach or stretch 2 LOS. If we find that 2 LOS, the defensive lineman is one that is a reader, or that we feel like we can stretch with an outside zone type concept, we'll base reach him and try to stretch him and open the crease by stretching him. If we find a guy that is a really fast guy that is up the field, a charger up the field on pass sets, even though we're in a 4-wide offense or a 3-wide offense, we'll pass set and stretch number 2 by depth off the line of scrimmage. So when you watch the video, you'll see us stretch number 2 LOS to the play side, the defensive lineman or defensive end, in that manner. The play side guard will use a combo block for number 1 LOS to the backside linebacker. A combo block is where the play side guard and center are using the same technique where they're going to combo block a down lineman to the feet of the backside backer. They're going to try to knock number 1 LOS, defensive tackle, off to the feet of the down to the linebacker. So they're going to combo block. And we'll go over that as we're going through the video. The backside guards rule versus an even defensive scheme is base cutoff number 1 LOS. So he's going to cut number 1 LOS off from the play side. The backside tackle will become a lot of people will consider him a fullback in an ISO scheme because he's going to pull on an even defensive structure. He's going to pull and block the play side linebacker in covering. If we have a tight end in the ballgame, a backside tight end rule is to cut off the C-gap defender. He'll cut off the C-gap defender and not allow him to cross his face. All right, on the dart scheme, the shotgun dart scheme, the F-back. This will be his rule. This will be his steps. He's going to open slightly downhill, 3 steps, stick, then counter back, and press the tackle's play side hip. He is, and you are responsible for the mesh as the F-back. The quarterback is going to settle when he takes the shotgun snap at 5 yards. That's the depth of the back. We're at 5 yards. Our toes are at 5. He's going to settle and take a veer ride. So he's going to reach the ball back to the F-back and ride the F-back with his eyes on the read key to indicate either give the ball to the F-back or pull when he reads the key. If the read key is being blocked, then there won't be a read. He'll look there, but there still won't be a read. He can give it 100%. If it's not blocked, is the only time he's really got to concentrate to read it in our 4-wide offense. And then the quarterback should boot out away from the play. Now here's a copy. Here's a dart scheme drawn up versus an even structure with the quarterback booting out away from the call, but we don't really have to read this guy now because we have the C-gap defended. There's the tight end, get a C-gap cut off. Here's your rules again, going back through it. Tackles rule. Of course, the center's going to come up and say even because one of the guards are covered by a down lineman. He's going to make an even call. Okay? We have 2 LOS right here, so the play side tackle, this is 23. We call this 23, going to the left. And this is the play that we call, that we're going to give the ball to the F-back. So we call 23, and now he knows he's got base reach by game plan, or he could have pass set based on what we do that week. So he's going to base reach 2 LOS. He's going to take a good drop step, depending on the depth of that end and the width of that end. He's going to drop, pound, and he's going to work to the play side half. If that guy winds it all, he's going to make a strong inside arm and press, and he's going to try to force that guy outside and keep him running outside, contain the football where he's trying to do, where he's trying to go. That play side guard and that play side center are now working their combo block to the backside linebacker. Now, if that guy is inside, that defensive tackle is inside that guard, he's going to do what we call a tap with his play side foot, and then he's going to drive his second step to the crotch and lift his inside shoulder pad and stay square, not using his outside arm unless he has to if the defender tries to cross his face, and he's going to press up the field north and south vertical, trying to knock the guy back. Center's going to take what we call a trail step, and he's going to trail, pound, and he's going to work right here to the play side half on the defender, or down the back side half of the defender, and they're going to combo block to the mic. The lead guy in this scheme, the covered guy, is going to take a tap, pound, and press. The lead guy is not going to allow this defender to cross if this defender tries to cross his face, he's going to use his outside arm and press and leverage the defender. He's not going to allow himself to lead this guy. This is where we have more problems. If this guy tries to come off too quick without the linebacker being in this area. We don't want this lead guy to just run off. We want to press this guy back. We tell our guys the way this play works is that we knock one LOS back to the feet of the linebacker. The play has more success because it doesn't matter what this guy does a lot of times. We can pass set this guy running that way. We can stretch him a little bit that way. But if you knock the double team player, if we knock him back, the 2 guys responsible for the double team to the combo, backside backer, if they'll press that guy back to the feet of the backer, then we've got something good going. The reason we love this scheme is we float the linebackers. We start with misdirection this way. We start 1, 2, 3, stick, and then we come back. So we create a float with the linebackers. But we're still pulling a guy around to take a linebacker, so it becomes an ISO scheme that a lot of people will have the eye or a 2-back set. The guard is base cut off, protecting the inside gap. The center's cutting off. So, and then of course, we talked about the quarterback. He doesn't have to read it, he'll boot out. On the perimeter, we'll reblock this guy, which means if he's got a hard corner a lot of times and the guy forces, then we'll just block man on. If he were to sink deep, then we could reblock and come on back on the safety. So we'll play some games on the perimeter with different schemes. Our Y and our Z would cut off on the backside. All right, now we're going to cover the back action and the quarterback for dart sprint. Now, we call this sprint because, again, the quarterback is, let's just cover him first. He's going to open and sprint to the mesh point, reading the defensive end in an even structured defense and the outside backer in an odd structured defense. And I'm going to show you this on tape in a minute, so I'm not going to go in detail so we can move. But I'm just kind of giving you the rules. He's going to open and sprint to the mesh point, reading the defensive end. The fullback, or the F-back actually, we call him, is going to take on dart sprint, he takes a jab step outside, away from the call. He opens and stays slightly downhill to the mesh point, and then he presses the tackle's block. So basically, the reason we call it dart sprint is we're trying to sell a sprint out type action with the quarterback. The F-back takes a jab action like he's going on sprint out pass, and then we come back. All right, what we've got here, we're going to run this dart scheme, and we're going to run 22. Or 23, because here's the big gap bubble, 23, the bubble's here. We have an even structure, so the center's going to give an even call. We've got two backers in the box. Here's an outside backer, kind of a quarters look defensively, an even structure. So here's two LOS, one LOS right there, one LOS weak and two LOS weak. So the quarterback will not have a read. One of my lectures is on developing the shotgun offense, and you can see that everybody's looking to the sideline. We'll get into that later on. Again, but you can see that we're going to run the dart play. Everybody gets lined up. They adjust their steps. We decided in this game to give a pass set to the end, which stretched him with the end. He got a little bit more split than a 2-foot split. Left tackle did pre-snap, and then he stretched this guy for pass set, so he should keep the guy walled out there. Now, the back's going 1, 2, 3, stick, and now he's coming, and he's going to press this tackle's block right here. Now, as he's pressing this tackle, he sees this guy try to get back in that B gap, so he bounces it, which is really a good read by him. The combo block starts off real square hips, and then they wall the backside off. The base cutoff walls him off. The tight end walls him off. The quarterback boots out the backside. We got a nice play. On the grass, the wide out. The Y has done a good job cutting off the outside backer. He's made a good chop block right there. He's cut the inside knee. Right here on the outside perimeter, our X has got this defensive back, this corner. He's got him leveraged. He's a little bit probably trying to cut off too much inside, but really that's right, because 90% of the time he thinks the play is coming inside the big gap bubble, so his rule is to cut off inside shoulder. And so if it bounces, it just bounces. We're cutting off on the backside right here pretty good. On this corner, we're in real good shape. Something good's going to happen on this play. Looking at it from the inside, let's just kind of slow it down and look at it. Pass set, combo block here, tackle tries to cut, he slips, or looks like he slips, but it really worked out good that this end worked back inside for us. We'll look at the next play. We'll have a bunch of these we can look at. All right, this defensive structure starts at an odd and goes to an even, and we block it as even. As you can see, the reason it made it an even look is this guy is on this guard right here. This defensive tackle's touching this guard. So the center's going to make an even call, even though he's got a tight shade. All right, now, the rules for this defense is this is the first backer play side for us on an even structure, so we're going to block that backer with the puller. We're going to combo to that backside backer, and then that Y has got to get in here on this backer. This is our Y. He's got to get in here and try to get a piece of that backer, which is probably the toughest block on the board. We got the F-back over here in shotgun offense. We're pretty much 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, toes parallel. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 stick. Quarterback should give us a nice ride, a veer ride right there. You can see the veer ride. He reaches the ball back. He settles and reaches the ball back, and then he reads out of it. Now, he doesn't have a read on this. Even though his eyes work back over here, he doesn't really have a read. We kind of insinuate to him always to get his eyes there. Who's responsible for the mesh now is that back. He's responsible for the mesh. I said that earlier in the lecture. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 stick. He handles the mesh. He looks. And that gives us at least slows down the edge guy, because they may have an outside backer on the edge coming, and it would slow him down for a quarterback read. But even though he would still give it. Good job by our tackle covering the linebacker. You see that head snap back on the linebacker. Boom. All right, we cover the linebacker good, and it's a good read by the fullback. He hits the seam. It's an ISO offense. It's a downhill ISO offense. It's not a soft offense. A lot of people think shotgun offensive football teams are soft. There's no reason to be soft. We got a nice combo block to the backside linebacker. We got a base cutoff here. We got a fullback coming right now. It's a fullback coming downhill with a tailback. All of this is a counter ISO play. Ran that 20 years ago when I was coaching at Texas Tech. It was no different. All right, this is against Tennessee. Every run that we have in the shotgun, I will say this, we have in the eye. We have in the two-back offense. So the beautiful thing about the shotgun running game, you can run it out of two-back offense. All right, here's an even structure. All right, here's your two ends. There's your shade technique right there, your three. You got your Will linebacker, your Mike, and your Sam. All right, you got a kind of a three-deep type look on the secondary or man-free concept. All right, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 stick. Okay, they went to man-free. So they got 7 in the box. This is a beautiful thing. We only got 6 blockers, but we got 7 in the box, and we're going to make yardage. There it is. It's an offense that'll work. Been places that it's worked at where you didn't have the talent level that other people had. When we were at Tulane, we made this thing work. And I know that we played some people that had better people than we did. And it's the same thing. All we're doing is stretching this guy. This is Tennessee Clemson game in the Peach Bowl. This guy pass sets this guy. He runs him upfield. That's what he's doing anyway. We know going in game that he's going to read, pass set, and run up the field, so we're going to do it that way. We're going to combo block this guy, the backside linebacker. We got that sealed. It's not as clean for the left guard as we'd like. He's lunging a little bit. Base cut off the backside 3, cut off the 7. Watch the quarterback do a good job of doing what I talked about earlier. His eyes are here, mesh points there. What did he do with the ball? He reached it back to the F-back and he rides the F-back. Fullback's coming. It's really our tackle, but he's the fullback on the what? The bubble linebacker. Boom. Cover the bubble linebacker. Now you're playing football. You're running the football downhill right at somebody. All right, now this is going to be dart sprint. And what we're fixing to do is we're in a 3-wide offense. And in dart sprint, we talked about this earlier on the rules. Nothing changes for the lineman. The quarterback, and we're going to actually run, this play is called 22 boss. Sprint ball, 22 sprint boss. And what the boss call does is it tells him back on safety, support. All right, tells us not to count him in the structure of the defense up front. Sprint tells him that we're going to run the sprint action. He's going to take the jab step, the F-back. It's going to look like sprint out pass. Then he's going to open, and he's going to be running back downhill. The quarterback is going to sprint to the F-back, and he's going to read the end. If the end hangs or the end's up the field at all, he hands the ball off. If the end now, and the reason he's got to read the end, guys, we don't have anybody to block the mesh point, to block the key, the read key for the quarterback. So if this end hangs or he's up the field, we're just handing the ball off. If this end's in the hip pocket of that tackle, then we should pull it and keep running. The quarterback will keep running. All right, let's look at it. This is with a boss call. Safety's already rolling down. This is the reason we do this. All right, here we go. Now, we'll watch it from the end zone. It'll be easier to see. All right, first of all, we've split the bubble with the tackle with the split. Everybody else is basically 2 feet. He may be close to 2.5, this backside left tackle. All right. He's aligning inside on him, on the inside foot, and he should read this block. Now, if we're pass setting this thing, we should know this going in the ball game. If we're stretching it, then he's got to read it. If that guy's outside, then he should come underneath to fit the safety. If that guy, if he was to hook that guy or reach that guy, then he should be outside to support, to get leverage to support. We're going to combo block again to the backside backer. We're going to block base cutoff. We're going to pull and block him. He's going to jab step, and then he's going to come. He's going to open and sprint. He's going to read him. All right, let's watch it. All right, here he is. He opens, shotgun snap, open, sprints, read. Now, what did the end do? Let's just watch the end. He's cocked, but watch the difference. The end is not in the hip. He's more up the field. I mean, when I say in the hip, that end has got to be showing. There's got to be, there can't be air there. That end's got to be on a charge. He's got to be tight on that hip. If he's not tight on that hip, he can't get it. Boom, there it is. We're off to the races. Now, what almost got this one was the center combo. The center did a poor job, or really on the combo block. And again, like I said, on the other video I did with Coach's Choices, teaching combos, and part of this is covered on that. But really, the biggest thing is the center should keep pressing, play side. The linebacker's not trying to come underneath. He should be working play side, and the guard's a little too fast coming off on the combo block. But the guy, what happens is the down lineman, he kind of goes to his knees. The center should press play side and take it over. All right, here's a boss call. Again, this is going to be, and I think now we're going to get into the quarterback running game. Looks like it's going to be, I think this is the one that's going to be 22 quarterback with a boss call. All right, there's a ball. The reason we got a boss call, he's coming down. All right, they're playing an 8-man front defense. And now with the quarterback running game now, when we put the quarterback in it, now there's no reason to have a read key. The only thing difference is we let the quarterback start like sprint out for 2 steps, 1, 2, and then he's going to open and go back. And it's going to be the same thing. He becomes the F-back. That's the beautiful thing about the shotgun running game. Now you basically got three backs in the backfield that can carry the football. All right, so the read key's gone. He's going to take the first thing off the hip of the tackle. He's going to cut it. He's going to try to cut the inside knee. The F-back there. He's going to start 2 steps, and then he's going to come back and press the tackle's hip. He doesn't want to be too quick. That's one mistake that Woody makes here a little bit. He gets a little too fast, and he has a hard time adjusting. You don't want to be too quick. It's 1, 2, settle, and then he gets off this tackle's hip, and he can read. All right, the tackle's got the play side linebacker right there. He covers it. The right tackle stretches, combo block, and then you got something going. Woody made a nice guy miss. It's another one with the quarterback running it. We got here shotgun dart scheme versus an odd defensive scheme. All right, again, what an odd defensive scheme for us at Clemson is when the guards are uncovered by down linemen. So let me just show you what we're talking about. This is the dart scheme drawn up versus, we call this a 3-4 scheme, but this is a 3-4 scheme, which means there's 3 down linemen and there's 4 linebackers. And that's what we call an odd call. And basically the linebacker count, if this was the play side, we were running 23 sprint boss. And this is a play side. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. The kids know, the players know from day one, when we say odd, we're talking 3-4 scheme. So the count for everybody means this is who you're going to block, what linebacker. We kind of don't say you block the Will, you block the Mike. We say you combo block to 3. You pull, and when you say odd, you pull and block 2. If we give you a boss call, you block 1. We tell them that way so they understand they're not looking at a number, they're looking at who's in number 1 position, so we don't get confused. If this center's yelling odd, you're blocking 1. You're pulling for 2. You're comboing for 3. Man on, block. You cover man on. Y'all combo the nose to the backside linebacker, base cut off, the backside in. Quarterback will handle the sandbacker. If the sandbacker was to blitz off the edge in an odd scheme, that's who he handles on the read key, on sprint boss. So he actually could pull off this guy. If this guy was real flat, he could pull and just keep running. That's what it means. Right. If it's a odd stack, let me just go ahead and cover this now because we're going to talk about this on the film. Odd stack. What an odd stack to our players at Clemson is a 3-5-3 scheme. So we know now on odd stack, we're going to probably get 5 underneath, 3 deep. So we're going to get a 3-5-3 scheme. So on the count, on the linebackers, let's say we were running the play back over to the right, this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3, this would be 4, and that's how we get our count down. Now going back over the odd rules, we kind of jumped over there and we looked at an odd defensive structure, but let's look at the rules. All right, play side tackle, blocks, first down lineman on, use game plan, base reach, stretch man on, pass set, and stretch with depth off the line of scrimmage. Basically the same rules we had a while ago. All right, play side guard, combo block nose to the backside linebacker. Now you know out of an odd defensive structure, that's actually the number 3 backer by the count that we just showed you. The center is going to combo block nose guard to the backside linebacker. They got the same rules, right? Basically the same rules. The backside guard is going to pull and block the play side backer. That's the difference. When we get odd call to an even call, if we have an even call, the tackle pulls. If we have an odd call, the guard pulls. So the guard's going to pull and block the play side linebacker, which is the number 2 backer. The rules are wrote up in a definite, simple way, but now we're going to get in a little bit more depth with the number count as we go through the tape. Backside tackle is base cut off, man on, line of scrimmage, secure the B gap. Backside in, if we had a backside tight end, he would base cut off and secure the C gap. So now we've got an odd scheme right here. And really, here would be an example of the center made an odd call. Now, a while ago, we talked about, well, the center made an odd call, and we're going to run 23 split boss, and we're going to put this back on the safety. Now, what is this? But why would the back think he had him and wouldn't have him because he has number 1? Well, number 1 is not in the box. The backer in the box counts as 2. We just said that. And the center makes an odd call, so that puts the back thinking outside for a backer to safety. So watch what happens. This is 23. This is a way to get all the numbers covered to get the quarterback on the corner. All right, we're in Rio offense. Rio offense. We got trips to the side. Now, they run a heck of a game here. But you can see what I'm talking about. Now, one thing that this back does do that we've always said do, as he runs outside, he checks to make sure the backer's secured. If the backer's secured, then he goes on to safety, unless the safety shows quick. And the safety doesn't show quick, the safety rotates the other way, and so he checks, and then he goes, and he gets on the safety. So we got everybody blocked, and we've got a quarterback running in a 4-wide offense, and we're downhill running. Now, the way we did this against Wake a couple years ago, we did it off of a draw action instead of a sprint action. You can still do it off your sprint action if you want to. All right, here's an odd call, what we talked about, the base rules. Let's try to cover them. All right, he's man on, he's locking that. They're combo blocking these two to the backside linebacker, 52. Or it'd be the number 3 guy, because the one's outside. He's pulling for 2. They're comboing the 3, and he's base cut off. All right, here we go. Watch it. And they run a loop stunt, so the guard chases him to get on his guy. The guard pulls for the play side backer to cover. He covers. Safety, the F-back checks. He then goes to safety. Our 23 boss, quarterback. And get it to the quarterback. There it is. Boom. Got it built in. Now we pass set the tackle this time. Must have been the game plan. Now watch on the combo block how tight these guys are and how they're pressing the nose guard. They're a little high, but they are definitely tight, and they're pressing and combo into the backside linebacker. I got a drill tape on that that we can cover later on if you want to look at the video, coach's choice. Hopefully you'll get it. The guard's pulling for the linebacker. Becomes an ISO block. The fullback or the F-back's blocking support guy right here. Quarterback's taking a little draw step, and then we're running the quarterback. All right, we're in Rio formation, and we're going to run dart sprint with the F-back. Quarterback right here, F-back here, and again, this is going to be an even structure, so the quarterback's got to read this in. And I said earlier, if the end is what? Up the field, then he should give the ball, and here it is. All right, we're going to zone reach. It's like we do a zone step to try to stretch the end on this side. Okay, they're actually playing with 5 in the box and rolling this guy down as a backer. And we combo to the backside backer so the tackle stays play side, and there he is. He tries to cover that linebacker. Backside guard, base cutoff, combo block, 1 LOS to the backside linebacker. He pulls, here's your linebacker covering. Watch the steps of the back. Should jab step, then comes back. Quarterback sprints to him. This is versus a even structure. It's obvious we're not very physical at the point of attack. We're in trouble right here because our slanted defense actually weak. And you can see the guards getting knocked off. We're pass setting the 5, and so the guards getting knocked back. So we're going to have a hard time making yardage right here because the combo block's not getting us any press. But again, we're going to be all right because we get back up underneath the slant, and we're going to make 3 or 4 yards, and we really haven't done anything. 4 or 5 yards. Because the back was able to read the slant outside. The center did a good job by not chasing and came back on the combo block and covered the linebacker, and that gave us an opportunity. We're pass setting the 5, but he shouldn't get knocked back like that. When he pass sets, he's got to jam it and hold it. Here's the dart scheme. We're in 3 wides. We're in Liz Max. And we're going to run 22 boss quarterback. We're going to combo block to the backside linebacker. We're going to pull the backside tackle right there for the play side linebacker. When we make a boss call, we know that the F-back has got the safety coming down, or number 1 outside. He's got support, and here's the quarterback running. Backside wideouts got cut off. All right, this would be versus an odd stack defense, which I said earlier on an odd stack, the back on a boss call thinks outside, so he's thinking he's got this guy. Let's see how it looks. That's why you got the combos. Remember, when we say odd stack, we're thinking 3-5-3, so we're thinking 5 underneath. So this back knows he's got 1. This tackle's man on. the combos to three, the third linebacker, we pull for the second backer, we count as a backer or support player, and with the backside tackle cuts off the B gap. The reason we do it that way is so we know for sure we'll have this guy covered if he comes down or stays down. The negative of doing it that way is on the combo block, you got to be quick on this combo block to this mic. You can't get much press on the nose. But if you cover everybody, a lot of times you'll make yardage because you cover everybody. The only reason we lose this block, this guy he doesn't do a good job covering. He uses his outside arm on this instead of using his inside arm. By using it like his outside arm, try to shove that guy a little bit, he turns on this thing a little bit. All right, this is rip max formation for us. We made an odd stack call again. So now the back's thinking support. Now if this guy tries to cross his face, runs outside, then he's going to take him. But again, the guard's thinking this guy. If he ran outside, the guard's looking out there. So this guy doesn't run outside. He kind of hangs. So the guard gets him. Now he should go on to safety, which he does. See the combo between the back and the guard. All right, now, so this is an odd stack call again, which puts this guy, a support player, coming down as one. We're pulling for two. We're comboing to three. We got the backside guard pulling. Now, actually, we got a young tackle in there. He's got a bust. He should not be pulling. So he turned back. He saw the guard pulling. He's wrong, so he turns back. He should be base cutoff. But again, the back blocks the edge. The tackle should have been base cutoff on the end. He's wrong. This guard's right there where he needs to be. Base cutoff his rule right here. He should be blocking that guy. But this is, from here over, this is exactly correct. The back's right. He base reach. He combos to Mike. He pulls for him. He checks, and now he'll go on to safety. Everything's correct. We're in Rio formation, and we're going to run dart, quarterback, 23 quarterback, and we're going to bring the F back from that position over, and it looks like we're running zone, and he's going to block the edge. So there's no read right now. We know right now that we're going to run dart quarterback. The F back's going to block the edge, so we get a good misdirection. Because you can see the linebacker right here, he's really holding, so that's going to help you combo block. So these guys can really press that down lineman to that guy. They actually got him on the ground now, and they're going to wall this backside backer. Somebody should. He runs so far out of the screen, they just stay on the down lineman. All right, but this tackle pulling is responsible for the play side linebacker. He just ribbits his eyes on that linebacker. He just does a good job of seeing him, and he kicks him. And then the quarterback gets up underneath. Now, if this guy would have been on the line initially, like right there initially, and we had time before the ball snapped, we make what we call a wet call, which tells, and they echo that all the way down, and that tells that tackle that he's on the line. If we make a wet call, this tackle here knows play side, he should slow step it. Let's look at the end zone. It might be a little bit better for us. He should slow step and expect the end to his side where the linebacker's outside to come underneath. So if that guy stems, 61 right here should know that this guy's probably coming underneath. 90% of the time he's coming underneath. All right. So the tailback is responsible for the edge. He's going to cut first thing off his hip or wall anything off his hip. Quarterback knows now to just pause, ride and pause,
and it's called 23 quarterback. And now all he does is he kicks. Kicks because his linebacker's not on his grass. Linebacker's not deep. He's on his grass on the line of scrimmage, so he's just going to kick, and the quarterback gets underneath and makes something good happen. That's pretty nice. We got him on the safety. Got a great block by a wide out downfield. All right, this is Rio 23. Quarterback, and all we've done here is we've taken the read off for the quarterback. Basically, the F-back is going to block the edge, and we're going to start off like sprint. So we're starting off like sprint action, 23, but we got 23 sprint, dart sprint, so he steps 2 steps this way to sell the sprint out, and then he comes back. All right, and so the F-back's downhill, and he's going to block the first thing off the edge. So it's 23 sprint quarterback is the call. So let's look at the end zone. It's an even structure. We're going to combo block to here, to the backside linebacker. We're going to pull the tackle for here. We're going to base cut off. He's going to block the edge. It's going to start off like sprint action. He's going to take 1-2, and he's going to be on the backside hip of the tackle. He's going to press the point. All right, they run a hard game. This is a tough game. This will be a good one to watch. This is tough. They run a twist stunt where the tackle's got a wall, the inside guy. He does a good job. The tackle does a good job of reading the alignment. I'm sorry we rewound that too far. He sees the alignment and he does a good job keeping his inside leg up and pressing it, and he does a good job of pressing that block. That's nice by the left tackle. Backside guard is got to press and cut off this. He's got to stop it. He's doing a good job of walling it and pressing it. He's leveraging it, and at least he's pressing his block. All right, gives that kid a chance to operate. Now the edge is a problem, but remember what I said earlier? It's an even structure, so the quarterback doesn't worry about the outside edge. We blocked the key for him. This guy, his read key, there's no read for him. When the C gap is blocked, or the first thing off the hip of the tackle is blocked and secured, we don't make him read anything. So he's just going to go 1-2, and he's redirected. We don't think this guy can get there. All right, we're going to combo block here to this backside linebacker. So Kyle, 59, when that guy's moving outside, he should be working backside. He's trying to. He just sees the looper here or something instead of his backer. We should climb onto his backer. All right, now, the dig guy, his job, again, is he's riveting his eyes on his linebacker, but the first thing off the hip he needs to take. He can't just pass that up. So he does the right thing. Bird does, Gary Bird right here, 79. So he covers this guy. The guard knows he's got to try to get to the linebacker. He gets the linebacker. He kind of runs himself out of play because the tackle kicks. And we get a seam right here, get a nice little seam. And they really had a pretty good defensive call. They really had us, and we get something good going. Because guys stayed on blocks. All right, it's like we got Ram formation now, and we're going to run 22. We're going to run Ram formation 22. Now, if we run 22 out of this formation, we don't run this a lot to the tight end. This is something we haven't done a whole lot. We probably got an odd call in this defense because this guard is not covered. This is an odd call. So he's blocking the first thing outside. So he's just like the back in a boss call. So odd means if there's one out here, there's a second backer, there's the third backer, there's a fourth backer. So it's a 3-4 structure. We've been over that earlier. So he's blocking like the back. He's blocking the man outside. So he takes one. He settles man on. He blocks man on. He combo blocks to number 3. 1, 2, 3, or the first backer backside, guard and center combo block there. He pulls and covers the first backer play side, which is number 2 on odd call. Base cut off here. All right, 1, 2, 3, stick. Now this isn't a real good job by our quarterback, because his eyes initially aren't really. See, what are we going to do? Like when he catches that ball, his hands should be opened up over here with the veer pull. He should have his hands reaching here and ride this way with his eyes right there to that guy, because that's the guy he's got to read. But at least we see the defensive structure, how we're supposed to block it. And the tackle came off on his block right there. All right, we got an even structure. This is going to be ram over, and we're going to run 23. Really, this block pretty good by the front. We're going to run 23 right here. All right. These two are combo blocking to this backside backer. He's pulling for the first backer play side, which is this backer. All right. This left tackle's locking. The tackle does a good job of coming all the way around the horn and reading where daylight was. There was no daylight to come underneath here, so he came around the horn, clear and cloudy. There's no daylight in there for him to fit. No different than a fullback on an ISO. There's no daylight in there, so he comes around the horn and he cuts the linebacker. Backside tight end should cut off the C gap. He's on the ground. He should keep his feet. And quarterback boots out. Somebody missed a block. Backside. What happened was the backside guard, he had a slant. He got cut off on the combo, and that's what happened. And that guy got through because